slot. Equipment. This time, I'll conquer the Earth Country House. Let's go around all the towns while saving my equipment. When you enter a new area, first replenish your food and fuel. In each area, you can only change food and fuel in the starting town. Therefore, even if you notice a shortage of food after proceeding to the mouth, you cannot recover. Be sure to remember to replenish. The battle is still a short-term fight in Hackburn. Here, I will purchase a light battle with a single armor and a Gabastima mat at Santa. These correction values are +3. Last time, there was a battle with a daily farewell, but if you equip these, such situations will not occur. The enemy worth mentioning in this area is the fox. It has the tendency to run away when it is near death, so the battle will end faster. Oh, if you encounter 2 of them, run away. This is also the same as last time. However, this opponent has a weak point, and if you keep drawing a low probability of 2 encounters, you will consume a lot of food. In the video, you can see that he is stuck in a deep hole. Even if he loses a battle, the amount of food consumed is the same as if he fled. So from the 3rd time onwards, he was wondering if it would be better to fight again and fled. He fled 4 times, so he consumed 25 food just here. If he does this with his mouth, there is a possibility of resetting. The location of the town is unknown on the random map, so you can't just play without thinking. These sections where you don't need to concentrate, but there is a possibility of missing something, are quite difficult. There is nothing particularly noteworthy in the commentary, let alone the gameplay. So this time, let's take a deeper look at the use of the map and the elements of the game.
You want to see?
As you have already seen, the map is not displayed at the beginning of this game. However, the treasure chest is the only exception and is displayed from the beginning. However, even if you explore all the towns and roads, there are times when the route to the treasure chest does not appear. In such cases, throw away the map in the town. The map will be regenerated and you can start exploring from the beginning. There are some fairly useful items in the treasure chest, so if you regenerate the map many times and collect all of them, you can advance your adventure with an advantage. This sounds good, but it is not mentioned in the game manual, so many players will clear the game without realizing the specifications. When I first threw out the map, I thought it was a trap command that would just make you start over. In reality, the enemies you have defeated and the ruins you have discovered remain the same, so you can easily recreate them. Well, the items you get from the treasure chests are pretty good, so there is no need to collect them. It's an element for people who want to get into the game. There are also famous stars in the map-related status. When you clear an area, you announce the map in town and go through the process of confirming the information. At that time, the famous star increases depending on the number of meetings and ruins discovered. This value changes the items you can obtain by negotiating with other parties. Although it is not usually displayed, other parties are also moving through the same area, and if you are in the same town, you can negotiate and obtain items. The value of the famous star for the items you obtain changes every 50. There are also powerful equipment and carriage equipment for the items, which you can collect and buy. You can announce the map at any time, so it is a good idea to adjust the famous star value and repeat negotiations. One thing to note is that when a map is announced, the map of the area revealed at that time will be fixed and will not be subject to replay. Since this will hinder the collection of all treasure chests, if you are aiming to complete the elements, it is better to collect all the treasure chests and then increase your star rating to obtain the negotiation item. By the way, negotiation can also be done physically. Well, fighting is troublesome, so there is no particular advantage to it. While I was typing the subtitle, a certain inspiration came to me. When physical is good, there are several monsters in the opponent's party. There are rare monsters here that do not appear in the wild and are difficult to catch. I thought that this might be possible to make them friends in a trial, so I tried it, and it was successful. I had never thought of it until now because I had been scammed by thieves when I took someone's things. This showed that physical negotiation is a chance to add rare monsters to your team. You can fight as many times as you want, so it's easy to retry. And some rare monsters have powerful special skills. The possibility of a chart to collect the final members with physical negotiation has come into view.
This is 40
It's
minutes
scary
into
that when you research various things for an
1 hour and
explanation,
19-minute
you come up with a
gameplay.
new chart. Well, I've gone off on a tangent. There are still more elements to work on. That's collections. When you develop the town by attacking, in addition to new attack items, NPCs that handle collector items will appear. These can only be obtained by negotiation. You may need to bring in items from other areas to develop the town, so it's quite difficult to collect.
The all-electric Honda Prolog SUV. We gave it generous passenger space and made its tech intuitive with Google Built It. Experience the Prolog at your local Honda dealer or shop online today. If you're making a to-do list today, make it easy on yourself. Just write down Reese's, then write down eat them, and then you're kind of done
Eat
for the day.
Reese's Pieces.
Okay, try Caramel Big Cup too.
There were a total of 56 of them. There is a wide variety of items, such as gems, crafts, weapons, and armor, and each one has a short flavor text, so it's a good way to enjoy the world view. Some of these can be obtained by negotiating with other party, so if you raise your star rating too much, you will not be able to obtain them. Be careful if you are aiming to complete the game. On the screen, I drew 2 parties too much and ran out of food. I lost about a minute to resupply. I also changed my carriage to Anguirus, which has a motorcycle-like shape. There are no changes to carriage weapons in this area. So I completed the Blood Country. The section time was about 9 minutes and 20 seconds. I simplified the strategy, so there was not much explanation of the gameplay this time either.
The
In the next
cutscene.
area, Tropical Barada, there is a capture operation, so I think I can explain a little. That's all for the first half. Let's move on to
Oasis
the second half.
Road.
Let's get into the second half. Oh, what are you surprised about? Well, the atmosphere has changed.
Tried replying to match that gaze, or rather, gaff, or rather, unicorn. This appearance is more convenient in many ways, so I will be active here from now on. The main screen is showing a summary of the previous episode. The thing that ended the mythological era is called the Britra earthquake. And at that time, the sun fell from heaven. I will summarize the explanations up to the last episode in the right frame. There are 3 big mysteries that have emerged so far.
One is what happened in the Britra earthquake. The second is who the prophet who appeared before that was. And finally, the details of the legend of the Tree of Life that spread throughout the world.
By the way, who are these 2 people who appear in the interlude? I remember that the man is Mr. Rivas, who requested the adventure from the protagonist.
No further information will be released in the future. Since they only appear in the interlude event, you can think of them as an explanation in the game. I wondered if it had something to do with the previous game, but I couldn't find anyone who looked like it. Let's move on to the next area. It looks like the Taiga Core in the south. There's still forest in the south. It's been a long desert, so I wanted a change. It's nice that the party's conversations are a little more tense. Now, let's start exploring the land of knowledge, Great Tia. Vatara is the capital of Great Tia. Great Tia has long been called the land of the dead, and was called the land of the dead. This was because it was a place where expensive gems were produced, and it was to protect the secret. From the perspective of Irabreda, it is a dark area and a demon country, but the residents are a bright country who enjoy pleasure with ease. It is true that the era of public welfare has passed and the active period has disappeared, but is the specialty of Great Tia gemstones? It's interesting that they spread bad rumors to protect it. Tios is crazy about Taka. He's the healing slot of this party. By the way, Taka can be equipped in the accessory slot and can be called as a companion during battle. Hey, it's the one from the Central Grass Reduction. Did you come all the way here to get the stones? Bury this thief. Do it well. If you want good stones, get the raw materials yourself. This town can grind stones and process them into beads to be used in similar things. Miracles are taken from Patara. Miracles are probably still being collected locally, so you can ask at the bazaar to get some. Oh, this conversation has nothing to do with the main scenario. I really like the line, "Buy this thief well," so I put it in for introduction. There is more room for conversation than in previous areas. However, the green on the ground is still a pattern, and when you think about the future, it's strange that this brightness will return and encourage interference.
I've already watched this video once.
Yukari-san was surprisingly empathetic. Before the atmosphere gets heavy, let's
Move to the ruins. Polar wind. Around here, a wind called the Emperor's Breath blows at the time of the onset of winter. This seasonal wind, which signals the arrival of winter, causes the relatively warm residents of this area to move their livestock to the valley to prepare for winter. The Emperor's Breath comes from the White Emperor, who completely destroyed the Divine Horse era. When the White Emperor descends into the valley, the livestock are buried in snow and invested. This wind exists in the north of Hiraya with the same name, and lives in people's memories as a word that conveys the horror of Kapha. This is easy to understand. It probably represents the arrival of the age of extreme sensation with the fall of the fire of the sky. The dust that is stirred up hides the sun. The same thing happened with the extinction of the dinosaurs. And the car is a pattern of a woman in the city. The Era machine contains an account book from the public era and a simple guide to riding. Dai is generally feared as a country of demons, but in reality it is a fairly cultured country rich in jewels and gold. The history of the stars, which records the movement of the stars, dates back to the mythical
You know what this
era.
game is about? This game is about Kashmir.
Solving the mythological mystery.
This game is about fucking
Is the next
Iran.
stars? It seems that the scale of the year
This game is
larger
about
than the earthly idea. I hope it fits
the
within
land
range
in
of
between
understanding.
India and Iran.
This is my first time playing.
This map
I'm starting to lose my understanding
is basically
from around this point, so I have a lot
Pakistan.
of supplementary notes.
Basically what it...
Religious history. The Siriki predicts the beginning and end of the world separately from the movement of the stars. After the Age of God, the world collapsed under the attack of Huayra and is divided into 4 eras of 3,000 years each. We are currently in the first era, and it is also a weekend.
It's a weekend? It's
It
a
is said
weekend.
that the world will be reborn through 4 eras, and the Tree of Life will be reborn.
This keyboard doesn't hold my phone as good as my old
In the
one.
first era, the seeds of light will be reborn and gathered through the path of light. According to the Siriki, Britra appeared 3,000 years ago. So what does that mean? There are a lot of terms here, and if you think about it too much, you will get confused. Just remember the orange part in the next box and you will be fine. To summarize briefly, it is predicted that the world destroyed by Britra will
There's
be
only 5
reborn
minutes
in
left
about
on the video.
12,000 years. There will be 4 stages until then, and we are currently in the weekend period of the first stage. Is it a weekend? It matches the current situation of Oasis Road to an unpleasant extent. Siriki Stone. There is a star and 20 circles written on the Siriki calendar, with the sun between them. The 20 circles are Jupiter. The star is Mars, but the name of the star is the Eye of the Evil Flow. Mars is currently a whitish blue, but this calendar is marked as red. It is hard to imagine that the color would be mistaken for a star that is important for seed sowing and livestock management. This calendar is also from the Jinwa era, so perhaps it is different from the current calendar. If Mars was red in the Jinwa era, this would be the correct calendar. The Eye of the Car Flow is reminiscent of Britra, and foreshadows the beginning of an ominous era. The star called Mars in this world is pale blue. And Mars in the Age of the Gods was red.
Sometimes it can feel like there's no way out of treatment-resistant depression. You take one
If we interpret the people straightforwardly, it would be Britriker Mars, and the day of the sky represents the fall of Mars. However, Mars is about half the size of the Earth. If it hits directly, it would not just cause a glacier, so this theory is a little suspicious. The Calendar, a guide who can interpret the calendar, explains the beautifully decorated calendar. In addition to the fact that the calendar from the mythological era and the current one are out of sync overall, the meaning of the moon is different. In the mythological era, there was a small moon in the sky, which was the first to be eaten when Britra appeared. The current moon appeared after Britra turned into a pillar of fire and fell to the earth, explaining why wolves cry as a symbol of sadness. However, in reality, the moon itself is the ominous Gritra itself, and the sun on the earth tells us that the old moon burned and fell.
This is crazy talk.
It's serious compared to Mars, but it's amazing that humanity survived. The red moon shining in the desert was actually the actual disaster. It's a good world.
Okay, the moon is red and Mars is blue.
The charm of this work is that the degree of the world's transformation increases as you decipher the text.
Jeez.
I couldn't find anything that corresponds to Dios's words here, so if you know anything about celestial bodies, please comment. The Stone of Descent. The Stone of Descent is the oldest calendar that shows the position of the stars in the
Stone of
mythological era.
Descent.
Countless holes were dug into the stone slab and decorated with spheres representing the stars. The arrangement of the stars seems to be quite different from the current one. This is because the stars fled north when the heavenly serpent attacked the Star. Overall, the stars of difficulty have fallen to the earthly soldier, and the North Star has risen to the point. There are also stars that appear and disappear depending on the season. There is also a theory that the position of the stars...
Yeah, this is not the type of thing a Japanese person writes.
Okay. The constellations of this world seem to be a mess already. The impact of the heavenly sun falling and the influence of Mars becoming a new moon have probably changed the time and favorability of the Earth. At first, I was convinced that it had been 3,000 years since the collision, but this world has been revived to this extent. It would not have been surprising if it had become a dead star. There were various things written on the ruins, but it is okay if you think that the axis of the Earth is shifted in the world of Oasis Road, and the wells have risen overall.
1 minute left.
It is easy to understand if you think of the wells in Japan as being on par with those in Russia. And Polly makes a meaningful statement. This time, someone is working for Polly's mother, Abati, who is the main character of the previous work, and is a lineage with special powers called Abita of the New Army. It is thought that she inherited that power.
Real-time attempt.
Polly's mother is involved in this.
This is the game without narration. get that. Battle music. What? According to this game, the only way to travel is by catapult. So right before there's a battle, you roll up, your catapult launches at the enemy, and then you're in the field next, duking it out like a Ninja Gaiden cutscene. I'm gonna hold this slightly to the left so you can see the catapult, which keeps getting edited out of the frame. Now we have a cutscene, 41 minutes 30. See all the streaks, Let me write my name in the streaks. Come on. There's that little catapult. That's what you drive around the map on that shit. I mean, that's pretty cool. I like this battle, but I haven't seen anything better than. That's a cool loading screen. The music. You punch him twice. He's beating up a frog. Oh, geez, nice. Boy, you gotta beat up Mr. Toad. What he's doing. Obviously, you can change the images and really re-release this game in English. It'd be pretty good if they had some bonus levels. Maybe it could even be a multiverse game. The speed, these load times, the flow of the game is pretty good. This would have looked like trash on a 1999 TV. I mean, these are some of the worst graphics I've ever seen. But that's what has the appeal, the mystery and the difficulty of understanding what's going on. It captures the imagination of why I play role-playing games or any game at all. Now that's the party select screen. I'll pause this for you, okay? Come on, get the blue up. See, these are the guys in his party, and I know he'll like use this dinosaur. These are all party members. This is the funniest looking party select screen, but I can comprehend the game now because I've watched a lot of it. So he's selecting his party. He's putting them in front row to back row, or just adjusting their order on that menu. I don't know why he would do that on a real time attack speed run, because this guy is a speed run. Look, now he's got the full party out, just like I said. He's selecting all his animals, and now he's fighting. You know, chicken. These things look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle robot. Okay. stay centered. He's lost a guy, so the hero that was standing in the front row is dead. He's already lost the goddamn. And then he fled. He fled that battle. This game came out 1999. Okay. That's when Final Fantasy VIII came out. '98 was when WCW Revenge was the top-selling game on Nintendo 64. So if there's any Nintendo boys thing, oh, well, I was young in Nintendo in '98. Well, so was I. I had the same game you did. There's like all 3 or 4 games to pick from. I'm watching a game right now you're not allowed to play. I waited at least 5 years specifically looking at this game, but never knew what it was 10 years ago. This video came out last week. He's got 5 people deployed and a robot chicken, a fox, a salamander. There's androids in this game, so it could be an android. They're all kids, so the humans, you have to think about it. From my perspective, everything I know, the players, you know. Kids. Two of the enemies just fled. The music just flows in between. It's a very nice soundtrack for 1999. Things used to be better. Familiar smacking sounds. I'm gonna check out my radio. I'm gonna be on my radio in 7 minutes. Let's see. 7 minutes, the radio. Okay. Catapult that frog. 41 damage to the frog. The frog hits for nothing. Then we smack him for 41 again. I'm gonna try to remember every little number. I'm in a brains in a high retention rate right now. I think he has 557 gold, 67 food. I'm gonna just go crank up my radio now. That Oasis Road has me looking at it. Very complicated game, starting with 80-minute speed runs is like cheating. No fun. I mean, the guy posted five different cuts of the same video. Only one of them has English narration, and that's the part 3, because he hasn't posted the end yet. Yeah, so I only have, I can semi-comprehend the story spoilers up to the end of chapter 3 in the City of the Dead, where they find it. I doubt I'll get another episode, but I left a comment on the video and it said more English. What else can I do? I'm gonna listen to my sports radio now. It's 4 minutes before the hour. Will be commercials, and they'll give us every score plus what I need to know for today, because nobody here is gonna tell me. I mean, a lot of people coming in and out of the chat. I ain't seeing any. Let me check how many likes I got. Okay. Oh, you want to check? You think I'm bullshitting, huh? Okay. I got more than one like, guys. I got more than one like, but you know, come on, get it up. You can see there's 4 or 5 people watching. What are you looking at? What are you looking at? It's time for the radio, because chat. It's a IRS commercial. Last sip of my coffee, cold soda, coffee, same thing. You don't get kidney stones. You don't get kidney stones from soda. People, you think the people had it much worse 100 years ago. The modern man is soft. Adopt a kid. Love has no labels. Okay. I might get a Cars for Kid commercial. Then that would be cruel. The Cars for Kid commercial, that's like 10 minutes before the hour. Today's Wednesday, that means fish lunch. What kind of fish is it? Salmon. I better catch my fucking fish. I'm not cooking my own fish around here. Man, the shit's hit the fan in Cincinnati. But back when I was in Cincinnati, I had my first fish in a long time. And it was baked in the oven at the home kitchen. About 8 o'clock at night. Just because dude had a box of chicken. I mean, dude had a box of frozen fish. That's the way it was. You know, when you're cooking up 20 fish, you give half of them away, basically. I mean, if you want to eat 10 fish, that's crazy. But the box might have 20 fish in it. You drive home, you put fish in the back. It doesn't matter if you're walking. You know, most people don't carry their fish home. People with cars drive far and go fishing. back to the radio.
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. Trust your eyes. FS1.
My phone back where I usually put it. Here's what you need to know.
Golden State star Steph Curry left in the first half of Minnesota.
Curry's out.
Hamstring. Warriors did win the series opener 99-88. Indiana's up 2 games to none after winning at Cleveland.
Remember that? I'm in San Francisco. I know Curry's out.
Despite 48 points from Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Halliburton, the game-winning
Can't tell me shit. I know.
In the NHL playoffs, a couple second-round openers. Carolina won in overtime at Washington 2-1. Caps with only 14 shots on goal. Edmonton scored 3 goals in the third to come back and win at Vegas 4-2. Major League Baseball, among the late games, the Angels with 6 runs in the bottom of the 8th beat Toronto 8-3. Seattle with 3 in the 9th beat the A's 5-3. Arizona over the Mets 5-1. Earlier, Kansas City scored 2 unearned runs in the bottom of the 9th to beat the White Sox 4-3. Extra inning wins for the Giants and Marlins. I'm Steve.
The Giants won. Oh no. MLB standings.
Here are the standings for the
And at the
MLB
last moment, I'm told the Giants have won. They have 23 wins. They're tied for the most wins they're tied. Well, they're 1 game behind the Dodgers. Okay. 1 game behind the Dodgers. It is close. That's my radio for the jokes. Now he's got jokes.
Constant motion, non-stop, coast to coast, border to border, and beyond on the mask, and devilishly powered microphones of FSR emanating live from the
I love Benny Hill music. I grew up on Benny Hill. But he was taken off TV. Then you have I Dream of Jeannie was good enough. Yes, it's good. She made a comeback after. Then Elvira came in. She's not even good looking though. She's still with us? I don't know. She's probably only in her 80s or 90s. Let me check. Younger than my mom, so that's my basic parameter. That's how I describe people: older or younger than my mom, older and younger than me. Ooh. She's 73. My mom would be 77-ish, 76, rough. Again. Almost 70, really. all I got today from 7-Eleven was a single Ricky. There was a guy named Ricky. He played for the 49ers and he became a rocket salesman. The 49ers are in the missile defense business. Let's just say that. We can confirm. One of the guys on the last championship team, his name's Ricky. I don't think I have anything else to say today. Not going to change my hat, nothing fancy. I got one earplug in, that's just bothering me the whole time I'm listening to Oasis Road. I couldn't hear it. But I can comprehend it. I want to comprehend the rest of it. It was straight crazy talk. Plus the fact that it's cultural appropriation to make role-playing games based upon another culture's stories without financial reimbursement. Like there's a lot of Iranian, Indian shit in this game. I just want to know who got paid for it. Maybe that's why it's not for sale. They only keep showing you that same Mario. Next game on the playlist is definitely Spellcraft. Always looking for the next Holy Grail. Zillow is on the list. Also known as Zillow Infinite 3. Shit like that. It was Zillow. What else? Haley's Comment was always fun. I'd love to play a game of that. Otherwise, Earth will be destroyed. Blasting out comments is PC gameplay. It's not stealing. It's not racist at all. There's only one race, the human race. So I'll see you next time.